Logan Paul sends the midge through the table. Jake speaks on Hasim
Alrighty,
crumbles
folks,
pulling
press
out
conference,
of
UFC
fight.
News. Hasim Rahman Jr. has pulled out of the fight. This is not a joke. I am devastated. I cannot fucking believe this. We just found out this news. And this is just another case of a professional boxer, just like Tommy Fury, being scared to fight me. It's as clear as day that these guys have been so unprofessional to work with, looking for any excuse to suck more money out of this event, to coerce us into doing things. And from the jump, I knew in the bottom of my heart that this guy didn't want to get into the ring with me. It's as clear as day. Here's what happened, long story short. So he signed a contract to fight me at 200 pounds and was going to cut the weight down to 200 pounds. This is not a big cut for him, right? He's a big guy with a ton of weight to lose. So he sent a video into the commission the first time he weighed in at 216 pounds. The commission wanted to track his weight cut to make sure he was doing it in a healthy way. 3 weeks later, the commission asked him for an update on his weight. He sends a video weighing 215 pounds, meaning in 3 weeks, he only lost 1 pound. So the commission was like, hey man, you're not cutting the weight properly. We don't want you to lose it all in the last day. We're gonna have to change this fight to 205 pounds. My team calls me up, they're like, hey man, do you want to change, they want to change the weight to 205 pounds. That's a big difference. You normally fight at 190 pounds. Do you want to do the fight still? I said, no problem. Let's do it. 205 pounds, he already has a weight advantage, height advantage, reach advantage, all of these things, but whatever. I know I can still beat his ass at 205 pounds. And that was that. We move forward, and then today, out of nowhere, his team calls and says, Hasim's not going lower than 215 pounds. If the fight's not at 215 pounds, then we're pulling out. My manager goes, fuck you guys. You're not in control of this. We already agreed to 5 more pounds. He is a big guy, losing 10 pounds. Everyone knows in the sport of boxing that is an easy weight cut. People do that. UFC champions cut 25 pounds overnight to make weight. A 10-pound weight cut for a heavyweight is nothing. This is clearly an excuse. So they say, okay, the fight's not at 215, we're out. The biggest payday of his lifetime. Say, okay, the fight's not at 215, we're out. The biggest payday of his life times 10. And he's fumbling it. For what? Because he knows he's going to get knocked out by me. The pressure starts to set in, and it's exactly what happens with all of these guys. Same shit with Tommy Fury. I'm sick of it. I'm devastated. I apologize to everyone on the undercard. Amanda Serrano, I know you were working hard. Ashton Silva, I know you were working hard. This is absurd. There's nothing I can do about it. I apologize to the fans, and I'll be back at some point.
KSI reacts to Jake Paul fight cancellation. Hasim Rahman Jr. responds to cancelled fight.
Pounds within the 3 or 3.5 weeks that I had to do it, but I couldn't do it. My body simply would not let me do it, would not let me get down to 200 pounds. But where in boxing do y'all see them canceling fights a whole week in advance? I didn't even get my last week to get down as low as I could. I told this man, it's penalties involved. Keep the purse. Keep the purse. I fight you for the $5,000 minimum. That's how much it means to me, and that's how much faith I have in knocking him out. But let him tell it. He already beat my ass in the gym when I was 230. So if you beat me up while I was 230, what's the problem in fighting me while I'm 215? What's the problem fighting me at 210? It's clearly them not wanting to fight. It's not me pulling out the fight. It's them not wanting.
KSI, Logan Paul absolutely smashed SummerSlam. I am super proud of him. Jake Paul vs Hasim Rahman Jr. has been cancelled. Chris Eubank Jr. calls out Jake Paul to fight next week. Logan Paul beats the Midge at SummerSlam. New footage of KSI working the heavy bag. Aneson Gibb, today should have been the day I knocked out Magbroom on his own show. Still out in LA, still waiting on an update. Once I get it, I will let you know the new fight date. Austin Magbroom vs Aneson Gibb would have taken place today. Ryan vs Anthony Taylor final face off.
Let's go, bring it. That face up again. That's face up where your heart is at. Stand up where your heart is at, that's all. I want to see where your heart at. I want to make love to you tomorrow. That's all. Love to you tomorrow. It's gonna be mine. Yeah, he's gonna be mine.
Fousey
Outside of all
says
these
Deji picked to
politically
fight
correct
him minutes
answers that
after
he's
his
giving,
loss to
I know he
Alex.
still thinks I'm an easy fight. I know he picked me because he thinks I'm his sure, easy victory. He decided to fight me minutes after he lost to Wasabi when we were in that hotel lobby because he knew, you know what, I need a W, Fousey's my W, and I'm taking it. So he is going to be the best version of himself, but I know he thinks that, you know, he's going to come out on top and this is going to be his reclaim to fame in the YouTube boxing world.
Fousey says his fight Deji
This means everything to me.
to him.
You know, after my last performance, which I don't even talk about much anymore, it didn't sit right with me that was my only performance out because I know what I'm capable of, I know what I bring to the table, and I know what I showed on that night wasn't it. I know I showed my heart that night, but I know that my capabilities weren't shown. So I'm super excited, I'm super grateful for the opportunity. I'm grateful for, you know, Misfits Boxing, KSI for giving me this opportunity. And yeah, in terms of who's in front of me, it doesn't matter. I don't really care about who's in front of me. I'm in the ring against myself, so this is me versus me this time.
Deji no longer sees Fousey as an
It's
easy
been
fight.
documented. You said this, that Fousey's an easy fight. That this was a guy that if you wanted an easy fight, he'd be the one to take. Do you stand by that statement now today? That was about, I think, a year and a half ago now. Do you stand by that statement today?
No, I don't. Like, I underestimated Fousey. Like, I respect him a lot. Like, he's putting in this grind. Like, it takes a big man to step back in the ring. Like, I can say that for myself because it's one of the toughest things. Many people, you know, they talk and all of that, but getting back in the ring is very, very tough. So I got respect, nothing but respect.